Hi there. When we think about the images that people post on social media, we tend to assume that people want to show the best versions of themselves or what they aspire to be. But as we're going to talk about this week, aspirations in themselves can mean quite different things in different places.
As we talk about this week's topic, we should focus on style and attractiveness, which is so important both in Trinidad and in Italy.
Well, yeah, exactly. In Trinidad, for example, people want to show that they have a real sort of individual sense of style and they want to show creativity. So you see this through the diverse range of hairstyles, for example, which people take photos of and then post on things like Facebook.
Whereas in Italy, there is a strong sense of Italian style, and people just want to conform and express this ideal. And therefore, they end up in asking their hairdressers what would they wear and what would be the most appropriate style for them.
Yeah, I mean, style and attractiveness are both important topics in the Brazil field site. But then we have always to see those things in relation to social mobility. So people would use social media photography to show individual aspirations or to associate themselves with celebrity fashions. So think of those low-income families taking photos in barbecues or in swimming pools. That's the relation.
Sorry to chip in, because also aspiration is extremely crucial for Chinese factory workers, and they do it again differently from your previous cases because they really cannot afford a lot of things offline. So what they did is like they collect photos from the internet and post those images on their social media profiles. So social media is kind of like dream-like world, and you see image of like romantic wedding photos or modern lifestyle based on images of fast cars.
Okay, and if we take the rural Chinese field site, it's not as if people don't have aspirations, but they certainly wouldn't make the kind of postings that are so fantastical that you see in Xinyuan's field site. Instead, the images that they share on social media are much more grounded aspirations in things like the future of their family or hoping for a life for their children that they themselves maybe never had when they were young.
Okay, so let me try to pull it together a little bit here. So in Trinidad, people show that they want to be creative and individual, and in Italy, people aspire to a more of a sense of general Italian style, which is a bit more conformist. And in Brazil, people aspire to a lifestyle of wealth, so they sort of associate this with celebrity fashions.
Social mobility.
Yeah. And we see a bit of a shift in focus here with the two field sites in China, whereas in Xinyuan's case, the rural factory migrants sort of post sort of more fantastical things and a dreamlike world. And the aspirations in Tom's field site are much more grounded and family-oriented. Oh, okay. So what we're actually seeing here is something that's quite anthropological, where people have different aspirations, but they're also showing them on different ways on social media. So
Yeah, of course, people have different aspirations around the world, but what social media really brings here is something deeper than that. We have two new qualities. First is that these are group aspirations, and second, things are simply more visual now. So therefore, rather than just individual aspirations, now you have group aspirations, and social media just helping people come together as I don't know, political activists or football supporters in ways that weren't available before them.
I think that is quite an important point, and we just might finish on that. Whereas when we tend to think of photos people post on social media, they show individual aspirations, but what is really also happening here is that group aspirations are shown by the new visibility brought by social media.